Hello Buzz Touchers. Today we are going to talk about changing the launch configuration parameters for your particular project in Eclipse. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I have multiple virtual devices and sometimes physical devices configured for my Eclipse installation, and sometimes I want to run to one and sometimes I want to run to a different one. So for example, I have the default sort of BuzzTouch 1.5/2.0 configuration, which is Google API level 8. But I also have a number of other ones in here for different, representing essentially different Android releases. And like, for instance, 4.1, which is Jelly Bean, Google API 16. And then sometimes I actually have a physical device connected to my system and I want to run my application there. So it'd be really nice if there was a way to configure Eclipse to prompt me for a particular device or automatically launch one that I have a preference for. And fortunately there is. If you bring up your package here in Package Explorer and right click on it, select Properties, come to this Run Debug Setting tab or section, you will notice that there is a launch configuration defined here for your project name. If you go ahead and hit Edit, you will see that there's multiple configurations that you can make here. One is the Target tab, and there's multiple things you can do here as well. You can always prompt to pick devices. You can launch on all compatible devices, so if you have multiple AVDs or devices active and running, it could launch on all of them at the same time. Or you can automatically pick a compatible device. So you can always use the preferred one. Let's just say I always wanted to use ice cream sandwich, you could do that one. Or if you don't have it specified, it will launch on a compatible one, which by default is going to be this Google API 8, because that's essentially what's specified in the Android manifest.xml file in your BuzzTouch project. So you can make any of those choices that you want. I typically pick the always prompt to pick device so that I can choose the one that I want, because I don't necessarily know ahead of time which device or emulator that I want to run to. So you can hit OK, then you can hit Apply, and that will save that as a project setting. If for some reason this doesn't exist, so just pretend it's not here. You can create a new one, and generally this does exist, but if it doesn't, pick Android application, hit OK. You need to type in the project name, and that should be the same one that you have here in Package Explorer. So in this case, we will go ahead and put com.2otestbt.bt underscore activity root. Now, in this case, it's going to say a configuration with this name already exists. That's because there was one and I deleted it. But if there wasn't one, you would be able to save it. So I'll go ahead and cancel. I'm going to do a restore defaults, and this one comes back in. And again, if you go in here and edit, hit the target, and you have multiple items that you can select for. So just to show you this works. Go ahead and OK. I'm going to go run this. So typically, let me show you real quick one more thing. If you are highlighted on here and you go up to Project and Properties, you're going to get the same screen. So two ways to do it. Right click on the project in Package Explorer or go up to Project Properties. So now if I run this, right click, Run As Android Application, it will now prompt me after a couple moments for what emulator or physical device that I want to use to run my application. So we all know that Android and Eclipse is extremely slow, so this may take a moment or so. There we go. So Android device chooser. I can choose a running Android device if there was one attached, or I can launch a new Android virtual device, and you can pick whichever one that you want. So that is how you go ahead and change the launch configuration for your application for BuzzTouch. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a holler. Have a great day.